Picture it, 40 odd years of work behind you, the pension finally sorted, and you decide you'd like to spend some of your retirement somewhere warmer, cheaper, or closer to family. Bali, Portugal, Italy, the country you were born in. The flights are the easy part. The thing that stops a lot of Australians from ever going is one quiet question. If I leave the country, do I lose my age pension? Here's the honest answer. You probably keep it, but most people worry about completely the wrong thing. They obsess over which country they're going to. The country barely matters. What actually decides whether your pension stays whole is a 35-year rule that almost nobody has heard of, and two specific deadlines. One at 6 weeks, one at 26. That quietly change your payment whether you understand them or not. So before you book anything, let me walk you through exactly what happens to your age pension when you go overseas. What keeps paying, what gets cut, and when. The country question, I'll show you why it's the wrong question about halfway through. Start with the good news, because it's better than most people expect. The age pension is what Centrelink calls fully portable. That means unlike almost every other payment, most of them stop or have tight limits the moment you leave. The age pension can keep being paid to you indefinitely while you live overseas. You can move to Spain at 68 and still be drawing your Australian age pension at 88, permanently. That surprises people, because the rumour mill says leave the country and they cut you off. For the base age pension, that's simply not true. But, and this is the whole point of today, portable does not mean unchanged. The pension follows you. It just doesn't always follow you at the same amount. Two deadlines decide that. The first deadline is 6 weeks. For the first 6 weeks you're away. Almost nothing changes. Your pension is paid as normal, the same rate, under the same means test as always. Travel for a month, 6 weeks, and you'll barely notice. It's when you pass that 6-week mark that the first quiet trim happens. Your pension has add-ons around it, the pension supplement and the energy supplement. After 6 weeks overseas, the pension supplement drops to a lower basic rate and the energy supplement stops altogether. We're talking tens of dollars a fortnight, not the whole pension, but it's real money and nobody warns you. Rent assistance, if you receive it, also stops once you're away beyond 6 weeks, because it's there to help with rent here in Australia. The base pension keeps coming, the extras shrink, so the thing to do before you go, ask Centrelink exactly which supplements you're receiving and which of them reduce or stop once you pass 6 weeks, so the smaller deposit isn't a nasty surprise. The second deadline is the big one, and it lands at 26 weeks, 6 months. This is where that 35-year rule finally bites. Once you've been outside Australia for 26 weeks, Centrelink stops treating you as someone travelling and starts treating you as someone living overseas. And for someone living overseas, the full rate of age pension is only paid if you have what they call 35 years of Australian working life residence, 35 years living in Australia between about age 16 and pension age. If you've got the full 35 years, good news, your pension stays at the full rate, paid indefinitely, wherever you are. But if you have less than 35 years, after 26 weeks your pension is reduced in proportion. Someone with, say, 20 years of working life residence might see their pension cut to roughly 20/35 of the full amount. Now think about who that actually hits. It's not the bloke born in Newcastle who worked here his whole life. He's got his 35 years easily. It's the person who came to Australia at 35 or 40, built a life here, paid tax for 25 years, and now wants to retire back in the country they came from. That's who can lose a serious slice of their pension at the 6-month mark, and almost none of them see it coming. So the question to put to Centrelink, before you commit to anything, how many years of Australian working life residence do I have on record? And what would my pension rate be if I lived overseas permanently? Now the country. I promised I'd tell you why it's the wrong question, and here it is. For that base rate we just talked about, it generally doesn't matter whether you move to Thailand or Tuscany. The rate is driven by your years of residence, not your postcode. Where the country does matter is something called a social security agreement. Australia has agreements with around 30 countries, New Zealand, much of Europe, and others. Those agreements mostly help in two situations: claiming the pension from overseas and combining your years in Australia with years in the other country to help you qualify. If you're moving to an agreement country, some doors stay open that are shut if you move somewhere without one. So the right question isn't, will this country let me keep my pension? It's, does Australia have a social security agreement with where I'm going? And does it change how I claim or qualify? Most people ask about the country and never ask about the agreement. It's the agreement that actually does something. Two last traps because they catch people who've otherwise done everything right. First, you generally have to be in Australia, physically, on the day you lodge your age pension claim. So you can't simply move overseas first and apply from the beach later. The usual path is to claim while you're still here, get granted, and then leave. And there's a sting in the tail of that. If you're granted the pension and then leave Australia within 2 years, the proportional rules can apply to you sooner. The system rewards being settled here when you claim. Second, tell Centrelink before you go, and keep telling them. Going overseas isn't something you hide. You report it, you keep your details current, and you answer when they write to you. The people whose payments get suspended are usually the ones who went quiet, not because they did anything wrong, but because they stopped responding. So the move is simple. Claim while you're in Australia, give it a couple of years if you can, and keep Centrelink in the loop the whole way. So, to bring it home, the age pension is portable. You really can take it overseas, often for the rest of your life. For the first 6 weeks, almost nothing changes. After 6 weeks, the supplements around your pension shrink. After 26 weeks, the full rate depends on that 35-year working life residence rule, and that's the one that quietly costs people who came to Australia later in life. The country you choose matters far less than whether Australia has an agreement with it. And whatever you do, claim while you're still here and keep Centrelink informed. None of that is meant to stop you going. It's just rarely laid out in one place before you've already sold the house and booked the flights, which is the worst possible time to find out your pension is about to drop. The usual 2 notes. First, the rules and the waiting periods here do change, and your exact situation, your residence years, your destination, your supplements can shift the answer. So confirm the current detail with Services Australia and book their free financial information service before you make a move this big. Second, this is general information, not personal advice. For a decision the size of retiring overseas, it's worth having someone look at your actual numbers. If you're weighing this up, tell me in the comments where you're thinking of going and whether you came to Australia later in life. It tells me which part of this to go deeper on next. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.